Crocheting the 12th round next. Changing yarn for the 12th round. When changing yarn, the position of changing yarn is crucial. Take a look. When changing yarn, you need to change the yarn before completing the slip stitch in the previous round. So here, I'll undo one slip stitch, and then undo one completed single crochet. Undo to this extent. For the last single crochet, bring the yarn through, and change yarn while the hook is still in the incomplete crocheted state. Meaning when there are 2 loops on the hook, pull both loops to the same height. Take out the white yarn. Wrap it around your hand. Hold the yarn tail together with the piece. Wrap the white yarn around both loops. And complete the yarn change. For the following crocheting, use the white yarn. After completing the last single crochet, and slip stitch with the first stitch. During the slip stitch process, as the yarn end not yet secured in the piece, you can place the yarn tail onto the hook. Pressing it into the piece as you pull through, concealing it within the piece, and securing the yarn tail. Pull directly from the loop. And that completes one round. For the next crocheting, you can switch to white yarn. Did you see the demonstration? Next, crochet the 12th round. The crochet pattern is 1 single crochet in each stitch. Crochet a turning chain as the first stitch. Crochet the first single crochet at the marker. Use a marker to indicate the first single crochet. If you can easily identify the first stitch, there is no need for a marker. If the yarn is too long, you can wrap it a few more times around your index finger to tighten the loop. If the yarn is too tight, you can unwind a loop from your thumb and index finger, or unwind another loop. Alright, all single crochets for this round. After changing yarn, you can start crocheting the belly of the whale. After completing this round, there are 36 single crochets. If you're unsure about the stitch count towards the end, you can confirm if there are 36 single crochets from the marker. Then slip stitch with the first stitch. The 12th round is complete. Next, crochet the 13th round. Start decreasing stitches from the 13th round onwards. It's small at first. Gradually increase stitches after casting iron, then no longer increase or decrease. Each stitch is a single crochet to make the piece large enough. Later, gradually decrease stitches to shrink the piece. Next, decrease stitches, gradually shrinking the piece. Start with a slip stitch as the turning chain. The pattern is 2 single crochets followed by 1 decrease stitch. Repeating this pattern for 9 sets. Begin by crocheting the first single crochet of the first set. Then the second single crochet, followed by a decrease stitch. Let me demonstrate. The method of increasing is to crochet 2 single crochets in 1 stitch. While decreasing, you merge 2 stitches into 1. Let me demonstrate. First, center the loops on the crochet hook. Insert the hook, insert into the first stitch. Insert into the next front loop closest to you. Then insert into the following front loop closest to you. Simultaneously insert into both front loops closest to you. Pull the yarn through both loops. Wrap the yarn around both loops again. This completes 1 decrease stitch. By decreasing, you're combining 2 stitches into 1. That's your decrease stitch. Alright, now the first set is done. Next, crochet the second set. Start with the first single crochet. Then the second single crochet, followed by another decrease stitch. Again, center the loops on the crochet hook. Insert the hook into the front loop of the first stitch. Then insert into the front loop of the second stitch. Wrap the yarn around both loops. Then wrap around the remaining 2 loops again. This completes another decrease stitch. Crochet the next 2 stitches. The 2 original stitches are merged into 1. That's a decrease stitch. After using up 2 stitches, crochet the next stitch into this stitch. See that? Alright, the third set of single crochets. Single crochet, decrease, the fourth set of single crochets, single crochet, decrease, single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, decrease, continue, single crochet, single crochet, decrease, single crochet, single crochet, decrease. After completing the decrease stitches, when finding the next stitch to single crochet, be careful, do not make mistakes. If uncertain, check the total stitch count after crocheting. Confirm whether the stitch count is correct. Use to determine if the crochet is correct. After the last decrease stitch, this round ends. Finish crocheting the last decrease stitch. Round ends. After completing this round, the stitch count decreases from 36 to 27. Count to confirm there are 27 stitches. The marker is placed at the first stitch. Start counting from here. Each V represents one stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This is the 26th stitch. A total of 27 stitches. This round of decreases is done correctly. The original yarn after changing it is no longer needed. Trim it with scissors, leaving a bit of yarn. Don't cut too close to avoid unraveling. Leave a bit of yarn. This round of decreases is done. Pull through together with the first stitch. Next, crochet the 14th round. First, make the starting stitch. The 14th round, 27 single crochets, 1 in each stitch. Continue. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. 27 stitches. After completing 27 stitches, slip stitch with the first stitch. Next, the 15th round. The 15th round, 1 single crochet, 1 decrease, repeated for 9 sets. First, make a chain stitch. At the stitch marker, single crochet in the first stitch. The first stitch is a single crochet. When making the second stitch, perform a decrease. Remember how to do it. First, insert the hook into the front loop of the first stitch. Then, insert the hook into the front loop of the second stitch. Pull the yarn through both loops. Then, pull the yarn through 2 loops. This completes 1 decrease. 2 stitches are merged into 1 stitch. Each set consists of 1 single crochet and 1 decrease. Repeat this pattern for 9 times. Continue. Single crochet. Decrease. 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 Alright. After the final decrease stitch, you should have a total of 18 stitches in this round. Count again to ensure accuracy. Start counting from the stitch marker. Verify if the stitch count for this round is correct. It should be 18 stitches. After completing the last stitch, slip stitch into the first stitch. The 15th round is complete. Next is the final round, the 16th round. The pattern is 2 crochet 9 decrease stitches. Decrease every 2 stitches. Continue this pattern throughout. Crochet a slip stitch as the starting stitch. Remove the stitch marker. This is the first stitch. For the decrease stitch, start by inserting into the front loop of the first stitch. Then insert into the next front loop. 3 loops on the crochet hook, yarn over first. Pull through 2 loops. Pull through 2 loops again. This completes a decrease stitch. 2 stitches are combined into 1 through the decrease stitch. Place a stitch marker here. After completing the decrease stitch, it also forms a V shape. This V shape marks the place of the stitch marker. There's another V shape in front. Do you see it? Why not attach the marker to the front V shape? Why this V? Because the front V is a chain stitch. It's chain stitch. The chain stitch also forms a small V, but the chain stitch and slip stitch aren't counted. The first stitch is the chain stitch after the starting chain. The marker is placed here, instead of the corresponding V-shaped stitch for the slip stitch. This is the first decrease stitch. Next is the second decrease stitch. The first decrease stitch occupies 2 stitches, so, for the second decrease stitch, insert into from the thread stitch. To identify the stitches correctly. Otherwise, mistakes are easy to make. So next, insert into the half stitch of the third stitch, then insert into the half stitch of the fourth stitch. Wrap the yarn through 2 loops. Wrap the yarn through 2 loops again. Then, from the side, a second V-shape is formed. The second stitch is completed. Continue to insert into the third decrease stitch. Then, insert into the fourth decrease stitch. Insert into the fifth decrease stitch. Next, insert into the sixth decrease stitch. Crochet the 7th decrease stitch. Then the 8th decrease stitch. The 9th decrease stitch. After crocheting 9 decrease stitches, slip stitch with the first stitch. It's the stitch marker stitch. The last round is done. Leave a long tail to close. That's how you've completed the body of your little whale.